Good morning, children. I am P.C. Karan, teacher in DAV Public School, CCL Giridi. Children, I had given you a video lesson on chapter 3, that is metals and non-metals. In fact, I had not discussed the physical properties, chemical properties, etc. Today, we shall be discussing the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Physical properties are those properties which we generally see with our naked eyes. In these physical properties, first of all, let's discuss the physical state. You know very well that substances are found in three different states, that is solid, liquid and gas. Similarly, metals are found in solid states. There is one metal, that is mercury, is exception to this rule because mercury is found in liquid state. Rest of the metals are found in solid state. So far as non-metals are concerned, they are found in all the three states, that is solid, liquid and gas. In fact, only one non-metal, that is bromine, is found in liquid state. Rest are found in either solid state or gaseous state. The second physical property is melting point and boiling point. Metals have high melting and boiling points. Contrary to this, non-metals have low melting and boiling points. There is a metal iron which has got high melting point, that is about 1536 degrees Celsius, and boiling point about 3000 degrees Celsius. The melting point of sulfur, which is a non-metal, is 119 degrees Celsius, and the boiling this melting point of one another non-metal, that is diamond, is 3723 degrees Celsius. Diamond in this world is considered to be the hardest known natural substance. Now come on to the density, that is the third physical property. Metals have high density. Contrary to this, non-metals have low densities. Another property, that is hardness. Metals are hard, non-metals are soft. Exception to this rule is few metals like sodium and potassium. They can be cut with knife. And exception to this rule in the non-metals is the diamond, which is considered to be the hardest known natural substance. Diamond is the hardest known natural substance. There is another physical property called luster. All metals have shining surface, means they have shine, and this shine or shining surface is called luster. So metals are lustrous. So far as non-metals are concerned, they are non-lustrous. Non-lustrous means they don't have shining surface. Exception to this rule is iodine, which is a non-metal. It has a shining surface. Now, malleability and ductility. All metals are malleable and ductile. Malleability is a property in which metals can be beaten into thin sheets. When beaten with the help of a hammer, they can get converted into thin sheets, and this property is called malleability. Ductility means metals on heating can be drawn into thin wires. That is, metals are malleable and ductile. These non-metals are non-malleable. In fact, they are brittle. When beaten, they break into pieces. Take the case of coal, is a non-metal containing carbon. When we beat it with a hammer, it breaks into pieces. So non-metals are non-malleable, also non-ductile, means they cannot be converted into thin wires. Now tensile strength. Tensile strength is simply the strength of a metal, that means it does not break. So metals have high tensile strength. Non-metals generally have low tensile strength, means they can break, they cannot last longer. Tensile strength means longevity. Metals are long lasting, they do not break easily, and non-metals, they break easily, means they have low tensile strength. Now thermal and electrical conductivity. You must be knowing that metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. Means heat and electricity can easily pass through the metals. Take the example, when you put a spoon in a cup of tea, then the one end of the spoon remains inside the cup under the tea, but other end remains open in the air. When you shall touch the other end, that is the end in the air, after some time, then you shall feel the other end hot. This means heat gets passed through it. Similarly, electricity also passes through the metal, that is, it can pass from one end to other end. So metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. Good conductor of heat means thermal conductivity, good conductor of electricity means electrical conductivity. Non-metals generally do not have, they are non-thermal or electrical conductors. In fact, they can be said to be insulators. Insulators are the substances which do not allow heat or electricity to pass through them. Hence, these materials can be used to make handles of many of the materials through which current pass or heat pass. Now sonorosity, it is one of the property of metals, means metals produce sound. When they are struck by a hammer or a piece of stone or any similar substance, then they produce a sound. This is called sonorosity. Metals are sonorous, means they produce sound when struck. Non-metals are non-sonorous, means sonorosity property is absent in non-metals. Now, these were the physical properties of metals. Come on to the chemical properties of metals. As the metals and non-metals show physical properties, similarly, they also show chemical properties. Means reaction with air, reaction with water, reaction with acids, etc. Come on to the first, that is reaction with air. Metals react with air and form metal oxide. In fact, metals react with air at different temperatures, not in one. And when they react with air, that is oxygen, they form metal oxides. These metal oxides are basic in nature. their aqueous solution turn red litmus to blue. Litmus is an indicator, litmus paper. So this red litmus paper turns blue in basic medium. Take the case of sodium. When sodium is brought in contact with air, then it starts burning. This is a spontaneous combustion. So sodium is kept under kerosene, not under water, because it reacts with water vigorously. So metals react with oxygen to form metallic oxides. These metallic oxides are basic in nature. Their aqueous solution turn red litmus to blue. Now we must see what happens to non-metals. Non-metals also react with air and form non-metallic oxides. These non-metallic oxides may be neutral, for example carbon monoxide. Water is also neutral. This is an oxide of hydrogen. But other non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature, means they turn blue litmus to red. Now, how this happens? For example, magnesium is a metal. If it is burnt in presence of air on slight heating, it forms magnesium oxide, white ash. This magnesium oxide, when dissolved in water, forms magnesium hydroxide. In fact, magnesium hydroxide is an alkali. Now this turns red litmus to blue. Non-metal like carbon react with oxygen, forms carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide, when dissolved in water, forms carbonic acid and turns blue litmus to red. I was telling that metals react with oxygen at different temperatures. In fact, I told you people that sodium reacts with air at room temperature. There is no need of burning it. Magnesium reacts with air on slight burning. Aluminium burns in presence of air on strong heating. But some metals do not react with air even on strong heating, like silver, gold, etc. Now, reaction of metals with water. Metals react with water to form oxide or hydroxide along with hydrogen. I am repeating, metals react with water to form oxide or hydroxide and hydrogen gas. For example, sodium reacts with water to form sodium hydroxide and at the same time hydrogen gas. This reaction is highly exothermic, means heat is released. Due to this, the hydrogen produced catches fire. So we preserve sodium in kerosene, not under water. Magnesium does not react with cold water or reacts with cold water very slowly, but reacts violently with boiling water. Some other metals may even react with steam. Okay, now come on to the reaction of metals with acids. Reactive metals means metals which are placed at top in the reactivity series. These are called reactive metals. So highly reactive metals react with dilute acids to form salt and hydrogen. But all metals do not react with acids, dilute acids. Some metals react with conc acids like nitric acid, sulfuric acid, etc., but they do not produce hydrogen, because hydrogen produced gets oxidized and gets converted into water. Now, reaction with uh, some reactive metals. Metals react with some reactive metals like sodium, zinc, etc., to form salt and hydrogen. To form salt. Okay, we shall be discussing it a bit later.